All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, everyone. Hello. This is Brian Sachs, and I see Brad's here, and Ed's here, and Jim's here, and Sidra's here. And Robert, can you hear me?
I can.
And can everyone else hear me? I hope the answer is yes, because here I go. So, I want to be sensitive to, thank you, Brad. Brad can hear me. So if Brad can hear me, I assume everybody can hear me. So we're going to get going right away. Want to be sensitive to your time. I'm going to tell you a couple things actually before we get started here on our weekly webinar. The first thing I'm going to actually say that I think is probably more important is you know by now that what Robert and I teach is really how to be counterintuitive. And one of the things I'll share with you is that right now is a time of year, and Carolyn's here, yay. So Carolyn just had an interesting experience she sent to me, and maybe we'll talk about that and interview Carolyn on a future webinar. But what I want to share with you is something that's very counterintuitive. Most people really sort of mentally check out between now and New Year's. And they don't do very much. They don't do very much selling. They don't do very much strategizing. They don't do very much of anything at all. And I would like to tell you that that's really wrong. And I'll just give you an example. And I'm just going to hang on one second because I'm just typing on my calculator. Robert and I today just made a sale. And this sale was for $34,431, okay? $34,431 sale. And it's happening between now and the end of the year. And the reason I'm telling you this is because so few people are doing anything between now and the end of the year. And I want to welcome Joe here. Joe is one of my previous long-term platinum members. And welcome, Joe. It's good to see your name pop up on here. And so, we were able to get this sale really because there were no others bothering them. So we were amongst several companies being considered for this particular project. And I'm not even going to reveal the niche right now because that's really irrelevant, and I'm not even going to reveal the product because that's irrelevant. What is relevant is that this was a process we started back in October. They stacked us up against several other people, and we were more professional. We were also more expensive. But weeks went by without any response from them, and I just sort of kind of wrote it off. And then yesterday, I just started making lots of calls, and here we go, $34,431. So, get to work, folks. This is not the time to be slacking off. This is the time to be working harder, and getting what you do now will affect what's going to happen to you in the coming year. So be very aware of that. So, what I've been sharing with you lately are like game changers. Here's one that is also important. If you missed last week, go to, and Robert will type it in the box for you, go to localclientformula.com, go to that weekly hangout, and, go ahead and watch last week, because last week was about commitment and consistency. This week we're going to talk about integrity and congruity. See, so many of you get a new project or idea in mind, and you go out and you start selling. Sell, sell, sell. And the problem there is that you haven't done the groundwork yet for this. You don't know if it necessarily even works. And that's a huge mistake, huge mistake. So I want to talk about sort of walking the walk and talking the talk and the subtle signals that you send out to people that tells them you are for real or you are a fake. Sidra, I see your question. I'm going to ask. I'll answer it. I just want to, move on with the presentation part first. And we do this because we want to be here to answer your questions. We want to help you. We want you to succeed, and that's why we do this. So, and also, I'll tell you if you're here that you missed a hell of a webinar last night. we had a great webinar. And, it's from someone that truly I learned from, that Robert learns from, and we're very sensitive to just not promote a bunch of crap to you. You see, we don't promote very much at all, but we do let you know about things that do work that we use ourselves. So integrity and congruity. Are you sending out subtle signals that are killing your sales? See, the way you appear, what you say and act has to be consistent with what you are offering. So are you trying to, the words you use, the sites they see, the cards, do you have a Gmail account, for example, or do you have what a real company would have? Do you have, for example, Brian at trackableresponse.com, or do you have Joe, and I'm not picking on Joe that's here, but like, let's call it Jim, although I think we've got a Jim here too. I'm going to say Bob. There's no Bob here. So, or do you have something that is like Bob, at gmail.com, or Bob at AOL.com, or trackableresponse@gmail.com? If you're a real company, my God, you have a real website. And if you have a real website, you got a real email address. So, like, that's the first signal. I met with a lady yesterday, very nice lady, who worked in corporate for many years, and what she basically did were customer surveys and market research. And I asked her what she did. Now, she is no longer working in corporate. She's going after the hospitality niche, and she's going after them. I helped her, obviously, with our formula, right? Pick a niche, become the expert, let everyone know about it. So she is now a consultant. I looked at her card. It was flimsy, and on the back it said Vistaprint. Wow. You know what that tells me? It tells me this lady doesn't know what the hell she's doing, or she isn't convinced yet that she knows what she's doing. And I sat down with her, and she came to me to help her reinvent and start generating business, okay? And this was really, I didn't even charge her. This was our first meeting. And she says to me, I said, well, what do you do? And she starts telling me, and for those of you who know me, here's what's going through my head. Blah, 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 blah. She does blah, 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 blah. So she is still stuck in corporate speak, but she needs to be in mid-sized mom and pop speak. So she was telling me all the things she does. She didn't tell me one way that it benefits me, and so that was like a key lesson. She does not have a website. She's building a website on Wix. So her email address or her website that she's going to finally put on her card is going to be www.wix. whatever the hell it's going to be. What does that telegraph? That telegraphs that you are not a real company. You're make-believe or just trying to. I'm going to see if I can get out of here for a second because I'll show you our site, okay? Let me see if I can find it. Let's get this over here and see if this will work. So you all know I'm technically challenged, so just bear with me. Nope, that's not working. So let me see if I can get it to work this way. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So let me show you what a real website looks like. Okay, this is a real website. It's got a real header and a banner. It lets you schedule a consultation. It's got a real phone number. It's not .wix. It's got success stories on it. And I will tell you, this is a site. If any of you are interested, you can. And this is not a pitch for anything, but you can contact us privately. If you're stuck and you don't know how to build a site like this, we'll build it for you. And we'll charge you for it, don't get me wrong, but we'll build it for you. But you need to have something like this. This telegraphs to someone, hey, this company's real. Okay, they got a real phone number. It's not .wix. It's, none of this kind of nonsense. So, what are you saying? How are you signaling people? Does this all make sense? Everybody kind of get this? If you could type in the box, okay? So, Carolyn says, yup. Is Carolyn the only one that's going to talk today? Ed says absolutely, or ED. I don't want to say ED. That stands for something not nice. But I guess it's Ed. But here it's E dash. Okay, Ebony. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad I asked. How are you, Ebony? I'm glad you're here. I don't like saying ED. Reminds me of bad things. Sidra, welcome. So we'll add a little levity here. Okay. So does your website appear in sync? Are you selling SEO but you don't appear in SEO? Are you offering mobile services but you don't have your own mobile website? Are you offering reputation but you have a bad one? You've got to be congruent. If you're sitting there wondering, why isn't anyone using me, or what is my problem, this very likely could be part of it. You may be sending the wrong signals to someone, okay? So I just want you to be aware of that. You have to act consistently. You have to appear consistently. You have to speak with confidence and consistently. Walk your walk and talk your talk and do what you say you're going to do for yourself first, the way you say you're going to do it for others. If you're going to offer a service, or you were going to, you just bought a product or a program and you're anxious to go out there and sell it, use it on yourself first. Make sure it works. And I say that knowing that, again, we only suggest things to our list. Robert and I, we had something today, It involves Facebook, and it involves a couple other things, and we do use Facebook, we do ads and so forth, but we decided not to promote this to our list, even though it's very, it could be very lucrative for us, because we haven't tested it, we don't know if it works, and it's not congruent with our message. See? Not congruent with our message. So if you are plugged into us, you know that. And you know how much we value it. And that's what I'm telling you, you have to start doing for your customers and your clients. You've got to. So how do you apply this to your business? Make sure your thoughts, words, and actions are all in alignment. Do for yourself first what you're selling, learn from it, and then show it off. They have to like you and trust you before they can buy from you. And by the way, they will check, okay? They absolutely will check. I'll just tell you of an experience that's kind of embarrassing. I was speaking before a group of people, and we had just switched over from our auto site. We have Trackable Response Auto as well, which is just dedicated to the automotive aftermarket field. And so I'm like out of state speaking in front of a group, and I'm talking about mobile marketing, and the guy pulls us up on the phone and goes, well, that's really interesting. Middle of the group, he raises his hand for a question. He goes, where's your mobile site? That's embarrassing, and it's incongruent. Don't let yourself be in that situation. So let's see. So I'm going to answer some questions. We actually, if you missed last night's call, we're going to post it. If you would like to be interviewed, I want to start doing some interviews on here. And really maybe even hot seats or interviews, I'm not sure yet. But, send us a ticket at support@localclientformula.com, and we'll interview you. Or if you have a challenge in your business, maybe we'll do this as a hot seat. If you missed the last Monday morning marketing minute, Robert, can you put that in there as well? It's also at Local Client Formula. So be congruent, folks. Time for questions. So Sidra had a question. Sidra, I don't know if your mic is open or not, but I'm going to give it a shot. Sidra, can you hear me, Sidra? So I'm going to assume Sidra can't hear me, so I'm going to close her mic. But Sidra's question is, do you think we could engage and close brand new prospects now? The answer is absolutely. Okay, Sidra, I think, is in New York, okay? And I guarantee you that there are landscaping companies out there that do snow removal you could be helping. There are others out there. How about chimney sweeps you could be helping? I'm not sure what your niche is, But in every niche, there's going to be a segment of the population who needs your help and is willing to listen now because they got nothing to do, because no one's calling them because it's between now and Christmas. I promise you. You know, Carolyn just contacted a company. You know, she's a member of our Clients on Demand system. It's at clientsondemandsystem.com. And Carolyn sent out last Saturday 200 mailings, and Carolyn got back already one appointment. And Carolyn, if you can type in the box, when's that appointment going to be? So she mailed 200 of these letters that we show and go through in that system. So Carolyn's next week. I am meeting with a major builder landlord on the 20th, okay? So Ebony says, should we wait until our site and we have the other things together that you just spoke on? Ebony, look, the reality is you should have all those things going immediately. But wait to set up an appointment? No, don't wait. Just go do it. We can get a site. You can get a site up literally within a week. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be customized as you want it to be. That can all be built out later, but it can be up in a week. Am I right about that, Robert, or not?
Yes, if you have the right, you know, if you have a team in place, or even if you don't have a team in place, if you go and hire good people on Odesk, you know, or even for your first site, you know, maybe you just want to spend $50 on a nice theme, WordPress theme, and you know, so you have something that looks nice and is live.
Well, you know, and I'm going to just show you something, okay? Let me just show you something. This is a site that we have. So I showed you that site. This is Trackable Response. Let me show you another site. How about, here's one for schools. This is a site that we have where we do apps for schools. You know, we will work with you on any of these themes. Again, I'm not trying to sell anything, but that's like the ultimate shortcut. If you want, pay us and we'll put it together for you. Or hire a team and outsource it, whatever. It doesn't matter. But here's one of our sites. See how professional that looks? It's a real site. Okay? Here's another one. This is for radio stations that are independent and may want their own site. See? And this is really nothing more than just a big landing page. There's nothing they can do here. All they can do here is what? Schedule a free no obligation session. There's nothing else they can possibly do here. And if that's all you can get going before before a meeting, do it. Just do it. At least it looks good, okay? At least it's you know, something that can get up very, very quickly. So that's really the point. So, all right, questions? If you want, I'm happy. I'll stay along here as long as you guys need to answer your questions. Just type them in the box. And if we don't have any other questions, Robert, anything you want to talk about?
No, I think you covered everything.
Well, I didn't cover everything because Robert and I were just discussing the possibility of putting together a resource guide for you. And we are going to do that. Well, you know, I'm not sure when it'll come out. It might be next week on our next week Hangout. But we will be putting together a resource guide. So again, this is your chance to ask us whatever questions you like. This is all about you guys. So if you don't have any other questions, we can end it. Is there a replay for yesterday's webinar? Patricia wants to know. The answer to that is there a replay for yesterday's webinar? There will be, and it will only be up for 48 hours because that's what we promised Josh. Joe, Brian, you are so correct how important a website is and to have an email with the company name. Absolutely. I mean, that's critical to your success. Have a card and spend 20 bucks. Don't have this to print on the back of it. You look ridiculous, you know? Look like a real company, because if you don't look like a real company, you are telegraphing to the people that you are not for real. What do you think about mailing now before holiday time? I'm going to open up the line for Joe if Joe's okay with that. let me see. Because I miss Joe. Joe's someone that I used to speak to all the time. So let's see if Joe's around. Nope, Joe's not around. So what do you think about mailing now? The reason I wanted to open Joe's line is because it depends who you're mailing to, okay? My feeling is I would do it anyway. I don't care really who you're mailing to. I would mail it anyway because, you know, I'm all about good. So Joe says just did. Excellent. I'm all about a three-step sequential mailing. And even if you get the first one done today and you get it in the mail, now I typically like to mail, you know, Carolyn, here's Carolyn. Carolyn saying, I'm sealing up the envelopes right now for phase 2 of a 200-piece mailing. Exactly. So Joe says he's got a mic. Let me see if I can open them up. Here we go. Mr. Joe.
Brian, good to talk to you. Good to hear
God,
you.
it's good to hear your voice. I hope everything is well.
Yes.
So who are you mailing to, Joe?
Right now, what I do is involved in government contracting. We discussed it a while back. My website, mwbezone.com. So I work with minority and women business owners and small business owners in regards to government procurement. So what I do is I have a database of all these certified minority and women business owners, and I've worked with them a lot through email and webinars. And I want to do a mailing out to them because, you know, email, you can't reach all of them. Although I have all the email addresses, I can't reach all of them. So I wanted to mail out to them.
I'm going to give you an advanced technique. Everybody ready for an advanced technique? I will tell you, Joe, that yes, you should mail to them. Yes, you will get some response for them. Yes, I don't need to tell you how to do direct mail. You've been with me a very long time. You know how to do it, okay? But what I will tell you is I would send an email. And here's where you all want to sort of pay attention. I would send an email right when you drop it in the mailbox simultaneously. And I would tell them in the email, Dear Joe, I just dropped an important letter that will affect you in 2014. The letter will say blah, 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 whatever it says on the outside of the envelope, okay? I want to make sure that you know it's coming to you, and it's a letter that you're going to want to open immediately when you get it. Now, you see, what do you think of that, Joe?
Definitely has a great advantage by letting them know by email. Now they're looking for it in the mailbox, and it doesn't matter if it's holiday time or not. They're looking forward to what's coming. So
exactly, and we've irritated them now, haven't we? Because now they're curious.
Yeah, and it's not like email that they can just open, you know, middle of the day, middle of the night. It's mail. It only comes once a day. They can only open check once.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So you want to have something that identifies them. Maybe you put on the outside the envelope about 2014 government contracts. That might be a good idea, right?
Yep.
And or about your 2014 government contracts. Let's go deeper. It's a government contracting company, right?
Yes.
Instead of putting it in a white envelope, maybe we could put it in an envelope that is light brown, that a Social Security check comes in or a government mail comes in. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Old open mail trick.
Exactly.
Like a 1099 or
right,
you know,
right.
Official document.
Right. They're like warning. Little brown, you know, envelopes with a window even. So, yes, absolutely mail it, and I don't need to explain this to you. You're going to mail them a second, a third, maybe even a fourth or fifth time, right?
Do it 4 times, yep. You don't get married after the first date.
See that? That's why I miss you, Joe. Who gets married after the first date except Britney Spears? So Joe, I can't tell you, it's so great to hear your voice, and I wish you much, much success. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you so much. Doing a
All
great
right,
job.
And let us know if you come back. Let us know, you know, how it worked out for you, okay?
Not a problem. Thanks to you and Robert. Appreciate it.
All right, super. So Dave has a question, and let's see if we can get Dave on the line. Dave's got his hand raised, too. Wow, he's got all kinds of things going on. So, Dave, tell me what you're talking about. Can you hear us,
Can you
Dave?
hear me?
I can hear you. Talk up.
Yes, I can hear you. Very good. I would like to get a hold of like maybe bar owners or certain types of business owners that have a good amount of traffic to offer certain probably SEO and any other type of marketing service like the mobile phones, creation of the mobile websites in exchange for them putting an affiliate product that I'm about to launch. It's an international launch called My New Internet Business.
I can barely hear you.
I'm one of the. Okay, I'm speaking right. Can you hear me better now?
Much better.
I don't know. Okay, good. Do you want me to say that over again, or did you get part of that?
Well, we'll say it over again.
Okay, so I'd like to work with business owners and do an exchange, not a full exchange, but partial for them showing. I'm doing a launch for my new internet business, and I want to have them display it because they get a lot of traffic in bars and other types of businesses that have a lot of traffic to display this this affiliate product in exchange for like SEO and mobile websites. And I'm wondering about the best way to go about doing that.
Well, you got to tell me a little bit more. Is the affiliate product, what kind of local business? Let's start there.
I was thinking that a bar would be the best to start with. They have a lot of traffic, people that might be interested in earning money, one of the business opportunity type of products.
I'm going to tell you that it's not a good idea.
No?
In fact, I'm going to be very blunt. It's a terrible idea.
Okay.
Because you're going to spend an inordinate amount of time trying to convince a small business owner like a bar owner, A, that you even know how to do SEO and a website, a mobile website, or that they even need SEO or a mobile website. And in exchange for that, you are going to put something on their site, which most of them are going to be very fearful of. My suspicion will be that they think you're a spammer of some sort, or see, you understand affiliate marketing. Everybody on here does, but the bar owner doesn't get it. So
yeah, well, I'm thinking more of a having them have it on their bar, like on just a computer or a tablet where people can go while they're sitting there drinking.
Well, you could certainly do that, but now you're talking about a large expense if you want to get any traction. You got a couple $100,000?
No.
You have 10,000?
No,
Okay.
no, very little to start.
Okay, so are you talking about just doing this in one bar?
Well, starting. Yeah.
Okay, and if it works, how much is the affiliate commission on the product you're offering?
It's a viral resellers platform. So there's 4 of them, and there's $25 each. So it's $100 one time, and I would make $25 off of each purchase, and then my link would go on every other site that everyone purchases.
Yeah,
the four tier.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
If I had $1,000, what I would be doing with $1,000 instead of buying a tablet for the bar, I might start doing Facebook ads or display ads, very, very targeted to whoever you think might be sitting in that bar in your local area. But I don't like the whole schematic to begin with, to be honest, because you're making lots of assumptions. It's multi-level type situation. But you try to explain this to a bar owner. Have you tried to explain this to a bar owner?
No, not yet.
You ought to do that exercise first before you spend 10 cents. Because I'm going to tell you, the bar owner is going to give you the deer in the headlight look. Do you know that look?
What's going on?
Like, what the hell's coming at me? There are much easier ways, Dave, to make affiliate income. You could do a YouTube video and promote it. You could be doing Facebook ads and promote it. See if this goes back to exactly what I said in the very beginning. Does it even have legs? Have you sold the first one of them yet?
No.
Okay. Have you signed up the first person yet?
Well,
No.
this particular launch it hasn't launched yet. We're in pre-launch.
Okay, so why don't you try walking into a bar? So, you know, here's a joke. A local marketer goes into a bar. No, I'm teasing you. You know, why don't you first try to see if the thing works? Promote it. You got $100 you could just like lose. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, take the $100 and buy some Facebook ads, buy some YouTube ads. Do some of that first and see if it works before you do anything. My suspicion, not an easy sell. Okay. Or Robert, why don't you talk to him about how to do an ad swap? Actually, I'll tell you what. Robert, tell him how to do an ad swap to a list.
Well, if you're doing an ad swap, you would need a list of your own first. You could buy a solo ad.
Okay, tell him about a solo ad.
Well,
We just did a solo ad for $100, by the way. We got 0 response. But do that with your $100 to a list of opportunity seekers. Go ahead, tell them how to do it, Robert.
I would suggest you start just by finding some solo ad lists on Facebook. I know a guy named David Eisner has a good Facebook group that discusses solo ads. There's a lot of resources on there for finding places to do a solo ad. And basically you just get in touch with the list owner, find out how much it costs for a certain number of clicks or for a send to a certain number of opportunity seekers, and you pay them that much. Usually they'll write the email, but sometimes you can write the email if you ask to. And you know, it's a good way to test things to a certain market.
Okay,
See,
yeah.
So, you know, see if it works first, Dave.
Okay.
And if it works, absolutely. My problem with it, and sort of you're probably hearing it in my voice, is I'm not sure that's a long-term sustainable business model.
Okay, well,
That's my issue with it.
would it be better just sticking with doing the SEO video marketing for local businesses, you think?
I think so, because video is getting stronger and stronger, and you know, more people are being exposed to it, and you can show results much easier. It's not dependent on anyone else doing anything.
Yeah,
And it's a real business.
Being dependent upon someone else, that adds another factor, right?
I didn't hear you. I'm still not hearing you well.
I said that's a good point. Is this better?
Much better.
That being dependent upon someone else's decision, you know, adds another factor of difficulty.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because this lady yesterday that I met with, she asked me if I would consider partnering with her and writing all the copy for a percentage of her revenue. And my first response was no. It was an immediate one. And she said, gee, you don't even want to think about it? And I said, well, there's nothing to think about. Here's why. I'm going to do all the heavy lifting. I'm going to do all the hard work. And then I've got to depend on you to go out and implement what I've just done. I don't really know you, okay? And so now I've done a lot of work and I'm dependent upon you for my income. So that's a bad idea. But let's say you're a go-getter, which I'm told you are. I only met with this lady, by the way, as a favor to my wife. But let's say you're a go-getter and you're doing great and everything's wonderful, and now you're very, very successful, and I'm giving you you're giving me each month a percent of what you make. Well, as that number grows and you become more successful, you're going to be resentful. So either way, I lose. See? So, you know, I would much rather have the bar owner paying you $100 a month or $200 a month for a video or a Facebook page or some other sort of promotion than this schematic. Okay? Plus, I think it's impossible for you to explain this to a bar owner or even any other small business owner in a way that makes them even want to give you the time of day. It just sounds scammy. We all know affiliate marketing works. To them, it just sounds like a scam. So I hope that helps you, Dave. Keep us posted. Any other questions?
Okay, good, yeah.
Any other questions, anyone? If not, I am going to go. So Carolyn, did you have a question? I see yes here, but I'm not sure. if that's a question. Okay. Well, folks, I hope you got an idea here. If you want to, if you're interested in any of these landing pages, trust me, we're very, very busy. But, we could talk to you about one and get something up for you very quickly, if that's something you have an interest in. So I will talk to you. Oh, here's a question. Where do we go for the replays? I need to listen to last week's replay. Well, go to localclientformula.com.
We'll send out an email and post in the Facebook group once the replay is ready. It should just be in the next few hours.
All right. And if you get a chance to listen to last night's session and you missed it, shame on you, because you're going to really, really dig it. It was really good information that was being shared by a quality person. So God bless you all, and we'll talk to you soon.